Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out the Film Geek. Today I am counting down my top 10 favorite Jackie Chan films. Now this isn't based on any Metacritic score or what is his technically best movies are. These are my personal favorites. So if your favorite movie isn't on the list, sorry, I just didn't like it as much as these 10. Alright, so let's get this started off. Alright, so number 10 is Shanghai Noon. Shanghai Noon is starring Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson and is directed by Tom Day. So Jackie Chan travels from China to the United States to try to save China's princess. And while he's there, he bumps into Owen Wilson, a not-so-great outlaw, and together they, well, save the Princess of China. So what do I like about Shanghai Noon so much? Well, I love the blend of the Western and the Eastern, basically. The Old West meeting martial arts. The movie's a lot of fun. Owen Wilson is really great as the goofball sidekick. I consider him the sidekick in this movie. I don't think he's the main character. Jackie Chan is the main character in this. So anyways, Owen Wilson plays a really good goofball sidekick, which really always compliments Jackie a lot. So again, this is just another kind of two buddies trying to save the day kind of film, but you know what? It's really well made and it's a lot of fun, and it's my number 10 Jackie Chan movie. So, number 9, well, it's not much different. Rush Hour, starring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, this time directed by Brett Ratner. So the story of Rush Hour is a dedicated, loyal Chinese officer comes to the United States to help the Chinese consulate find his lost daughter. Jackie Chan also teams up with an LAPD detective, Chris Tucker, who's the opposite Jackie Chan. This is another one of those fish out of water, he's a real loudmouth, he's real quiet but kicks ass kind of stories. But the thing is the chemistry between these two guys is great. They really come across as two people thrown into a situation that really don't like each other too much at first, and then become really good friends by the end of the movie. And this one is great. The chemistry between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, it's really felt, and that's how it landed itself at number 9. Number 8 is probably the goofiest of all of the plots of this, and that is Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy is directed by Sammo Hung, starring Jackie Chan. So we get back together, two old friends to make this movie, so you know it's gonna be freaking awesome. Any of Jackie Chan movies directed by Sammo Hung are great. Okay, so what's the story of Mr. Nice Guy? Well, as I said, this thing is goofy as hell. Alright, so Jackie Chan plays a TV chef who gets involved with a news reporter who has a videotape that shows a drug deal gone bad. So these two gangs want to get this videotape, and Jackie Chan is helping out the reporter who happens to have this video cassette. I mean, seriously, it's like, why would a TV chef know Kung Fu? Who cares? It's Jackie Chan. I mean, really, that's what I think I love about this movie the most, is it's just such a weird premise. TV chef just so happens to know Kung Fu, and he, saves his reporter. The premise of it alone is great. I love this movie. It's got some great action in it. It's got some really good fight scenes in it. It's probably not a lot of people's top dog Jackie Chan films, but I saw this one when it was released in the States, in the theaters, and I loved it. I still love it, and I don't know, it's a good time. Now, number 7 is going to be a bit confusing, and my number 7 pick is Armor of God 2, Operation Condor. Or, if you're in the States, Operation Condor. Just Operation Condor. So, the story is, Jackie is hired to find Nazi gold that's buried somewhere in the Sahara Desert. That's it. What more do you need, right? Jackie Chan tries to find Nazi gold. The thing I like about this movie the most is that treasure hunter vibe. This movie falls in right with Indiana Jones, dare I say, National Treasure. Well, it's one of those movies, and I love adventure films, and this one is great. It's a really good adventure, it's got great martial arts. Some of the best that you will find Jackie Chan doing is in this film, Operation Condor, or Armor of God 2, Operation Condor. Okay, as promised, I was going to have some more of these different titled movies on here. So that brings us to number 6, and number 6 is Police Story 3, Super Cop, or in the States, Super Cop. Okay, this one actually is one of my favorites when they changed it a bit here in the States, because he's Kevin. I love that. His name is Kevin in this movie. Directed by Stanley Tong, starring Jackie Chan and Michelle Yeoh. A Hong Kong super cop and a Chinese counterpart super cop team up together to take down a Hong Kong drug lord. That's it. What more do you need? And these two are awesome together. Jackie Chan and Michelle Yeoh play off each other amazingly. She keeps up with him in the stunts department, in the martial arts department, all around everything. These two together are a powerhouse. And my God, this movie is entertaining. If you haven't seen Super Cop or Police Story 3 Super Cop, then please check it out. This is a good movie. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. And that's my number 6 on my list for Jackie Chan. Number 5 is the movie that really brought Jackie to the United States, and that is 1995's Rumble in the Bronx. Directed again by Stanley Tong, starring Jackie Chan, and it tells the story of a Hong Kong police officer who's on vacation in New York to visit his uncle, and lo and behold, he gets mixed up with a bunch of gang members. And they're awesome gang members, let me tell you. These guys are great. There's a scene where he goes through the gang's headquarters and he uses pretty much every single item in that room against them. It is great. The choreography is amazing. And it really is probably, I wouldn't say it's my favorite fight scene, but it is definitely my favorite use of items all in a fight scene. Number 4 on my list of favorite Jackie Chan movies is another one of those titles are different ones, and that is The Armor of God, or in the States, Operation Condor 2, The Armor of God. For some reason, they switched the orders of these movies when they came to the United States. I don't know the definite reason why they did. Maybe it had something to do with who owned the rights to what, when, how, who cares, it's Hollywood. The point is the movies were released in the opposite order here in the United States. But number 4, Armor of God. This is one of the famous Jackie Chan films where Jackie almost bit the dust. In a scene where he was trying to jump from a tree in a platform, he fell and busted his head open and still has a soft spot in his skull from where he hit his head some 40 years ago at this point, I believe? 30 some years? I'm not sure. But anyways, this is what that movie is really famous for, is when he really hurt himself bad. So what do I love about this movie the most? It is, again, that adventure film, Indiana Jones, but this one really brings out the Indiana Jones type vibe. The action sequences are just phenomenal. The martial arts are on point. The humor, when it's there, is great. This is just Jackie Chan at his finest. You can definitely see that he was going to be a big star in the United States eventually. Number 3, again, switcheroo names, and that is Police Story number 4, First Strike, or in the States, Jackie Chan's First Strike. And this movie's great. This has one of my favorite uses of an object. Not uses of every object, just one particular object, and that is the ladder. Jackie Chan beats the hell out of a bunch of guys with a ladder, and it is on point. This is one of my favorite uses of a single object in any film he's ever made. Not only that, this is probably my favorite of the Police Story stories. Jackie's just really great in this movie. The action is just non-stop. This movie really doesn't slow down much. There's a few moments where things kind of take a dive for a moment, and I do mean a moment, but then my God, it picks back up again. And the slowdown is welcome because you go through a good, action sequence. Ooh, take a deep breath, action sequence. And man, First Strike is there. That's the great thing about this movie. So the story's pretty simple. Jackie Chan is searching for a stolen nuclear warhead. Yeah, there you go. That's all. Yeah, and he fights like, a small island of people to find it. But there you go. And it is intense, it's amazing, it's a lot of fun. If you have not seen this movie, I don't know why, but please, for the love of Pete, check it out. Jackie Chan's First Strike in the States. Anywhere else, maybe it's Police Story 4, First Strike. Number 2 is another one of his films with an extremely odd plot, and that is Wheels on Meals. Wheels on Meals is about 2 friends who own a food truck, and, well, they help a private eye protect a woman who's hiding from a gang. Okay, so kind of a Mr. Nice Guy scenario, and it can be considered like a sequel somehow. It's not, but I could see how this movie could be the first movie, and then Mr. Nice Guy is the sequel because he kind of plays the same character and the same kind of just absolute weirdness. These two guys own a food truck. A gang shows up, starts some problems. A private eye comes in and basically is like, hey, you guys know Kung Fu. That's awesome. How would you like to protect this girl? You would? Great. And then that's it. This one is really just pure comedy gold. I love this movie. It's super fun to watch. There's so many great fight sequences in this, and the humor is great. This is another one of his movies directed by Sammo Hung. Again, why I feel like this could easily be the first movie and Mr. Nice Guy being the second movie, same director, and it's starring Jackie Chan. That brings us to the #1 slot, the top dog, top tier Jackie Chan film. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering what that movie is. #1, my all-time favorite Jackie Chan film, the one movie that I will always say, you've got to see this movie. If you have not seen this Jackie Chan movie, my God, what's wrong with you? #1, Drunken Master II, or in the States, Legend of Drunken Master. So the story is about a young martial artist who must stop a group of foreigners from stealing precious artifacts from China. If you're not familiar with Drunken Kung Fu and you have not seen this movie, holy crap, you need to check this out. This is some of the all-time greatest fight choreography ever seen in cinema. I will go to the mattresses on that. I will go to the mattresses on that. I will. This fight choreography in this movie is astounding. I'm not gonna lie. This is some of my favorite fight sequences ever seen. Jackie's moves are astoundingly graceful and fluid and amazing. The story is pretty good. The acting, this is probably one of his, even though it's dubbed and so on and so forth, it's probably one of his better acted films in his earlier ones. It's also probably one of his best filmed of his earlier films also. Needless to say, I can't talk enough about how much I love Legend of Drunken Master, Drunken Master II for the purist, but Legend of Drunken Master here in the States. This film is on point. This is a high recommendation. Please watch this movie. So one of the things I was saying was the fight sequences. Now at the end of the film, the big climatic battle between the good guy and the bad guy, this is a 7-minute long fight sequence. Yes, 7 minutes. If you know anything about movies, fight sequences do not last 7 minutes. This one does. Wow. And in that fight sequence, he pulls off one of the craziest stunts, and that is walking on hot coals, are crawling, falling, rolling. It's crazy, but Jackie does it. Jackie is invincible. I truly believe that we should build rockets out of whatever Jackie Chan's skin is made of. Alright guys, there you have it. My top 10 favorite Jackie Chan films. So thanks again for checking me out today. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that. Guys, we're doing great. I am 14 subscriptions away from my goal of 100 by the end of the year. So we're almost there. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and as I always say, guys, keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.